Welcome to day 21 of Reset, Restart, Refocus. Okay, so it's Saturday and it's time for my weekly weigh-in. This will be week 3. So how did I do this week? Well, let's find out. So here's my weigh-in for this morning. Okay, so this morning I was 175.2, and I've been kind of bouncing around 175.2 and 174.8 for the last few days. Probably just about 4 or 5 days now. So I'm kind of up and down a little bit. But for the week, I've lost 2 pounds. So that's really, really good. I mean, if you're losing 1 or 2 pounds a week, that is the best that you can do. So, in my opinion, it is. So, anyway, I'm real happy about that. I was happy to find out, even though I've been bouncing up and down the last 4 days, that I actually lost 2 pounds this week. So, there you go. There's that. So, let's get into the blood glucose. Okay, so it's almost 7:30 in the morning, and here's my glucose, 90. So my blood glucose was 90 this morning, which means I was up 3 points. So that was good. That's not too bad. I mean, it's kind of staying in the same range between the 80s and the 90s. That's what I like. And here's my ketones. And I still have pretty strong ketones, 3.3. I'm really happy to see that. Okay, so I was 3.3, which means I'm down 0.7 points. I mean, did I really expect to go above 4? So, I mean, yesterday was astronomical, and I'm real happy with 3. So, 3.3, that's good. Everything's going great. So, let me show you what I ate today. Okay, so it's 12:45, and I've been out shopping, getting things ready for meal prep tomorrow. And all of a sudden I was starving, and I didn't know why. Well, this is why, because I haven't eaten yet. So I have a piece of string cheese and about 6 sandwich-sized pepperonis. And then about a half an hour later, I'm going to have the meatballs and cauliflower rice. Okay, so today I had some extra meatballs on my Swedish meatball dish. And that was it. And oh yeah, I had the pepperoni and cheese as well, which is kind of my new break my fast food. And then I have the food with the meal with the carbohydrates in it. So anyway, it's all going good, and I'm very, very pleased with this week and even the last 3 weeks. Let me tell you something. So in the last 3 weeks that I've been doing this reset, restart, refocus, I've actually lost 6.2 pounds. That's awesome. That means that I've lost an average of 2 pounds a week. So anyway, I just want to mention that too. I forgot about that. So anyway, that's good. And so this whole reset thing is going really well for me. My daughter went out of town to go shopping today, and I really kind of thought about going with her. But I just told her, you know what, I'm just not strong enough to get out into the real world where there's fast food and all this kind of stuff. I'm kind of happy with just staying where I'm at right now, going with how I'm going, and kind of eliminate as much temptation as I can. So I did a little bit of shopping at my local grocery store. I got a few things. I had her pick me up some things in Cortez, so to kind of help me out, things that I can't get. Like this coming up meal prep tomorrow, I needed some butter lettuce because it's my favorite with burgers. And so that's what I had her pick up for me. Just a few things, some little mini cucumbers, because I love those too, and I can't get those here. So she picked up a few things for me. I picked up a few things, and my meal prep is ready to go for tomorrow. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today, is meal prep. I wanted to give you some of my top tips. I actually have 5 tips here on why I think meal prep why I think everybody should be doing meal prep. Okay, so here's my first tip. First of all, it makes you prepared for success. When you have your meals all ready to go and you come home tired from a long day at work, and if you eat your meal, later in the afternoon, all you have to do is warm it up and maybe make a salad. It's super, super simple, and you're less likely to go to the drive-thru and pick something up. Because even if you go through the drive-thru and you get a bunless burger or something like that, the ingredients are, not so great. You don't know what they put in their meat or what they put in their dressings or anything else. So when you're prepared with meal prep, you know exactly what you've put into your food, and it's just better for success, in my opinion. The second thing that why I think you should meal prep is you spend a lot less time cooking. I mean, yeah, the first week that I did meal prep, I did it in less than an hour. That was super fast. The second week that I did it in an hour and 45 minutes. And last week, the video was an hour and 30 minutes, but then I did a couple of things afterwards, so it was actually an hour and 45 minutes. So under 2 hours, I have all my food prepared for the week. And so I don't have to spend a lot of time in the kitchen after work preparing meals, for the next day or for that night. It's just you spend a lot less time cooking, and not only do you spend a lot less time cooking for the week, but you also have a lot less dishes to do because you get all your stuff done. It takes me probably about 30 minutes to get the kitchen completely cleaned up and back in shape the way it was before. And so in about 2.5 hours, I've got it done. So that's a big bonus to me. Also, number 4 is you spend a lot less time thinking about food. I mean, when I don't meal prep and before I started doing meal prep, I used to what am I going to have for breakfast? What are we going to have for lunch? What are we going to have for dinner? What are we going to have for dinner? That's the biggest one. Oh my goodness. And so you're just thinking about food all the time. What is your next meal going to be? And when are you going to have it? And what are you going to do? And do you have enough stuff? And gather the recipe if you need to, and pull everything out, make the meal, put it all back. I mean, it's very, very time consuming. So if you're meal prepped, you spend a lot less time thinking about food. The only times that I thought about food was, well, number one, watching my friends on YouTube, and they're showing what they're eating every day, but I'm not really thinking about my food. I'm just watching what they're eating. But I also get some good ideas. I mean, I have a really good idea for meal prep this week, and I'll tell you what it is in a minute. And I found it on a video of one of my friends that I watched this week. And also, I totally lost track of what I was going to say. Anyway, you spend a lot less time thinking about food. So yeah, the only time, now I know what I was going to say. So the only time I actually thought about what I'm going to eat this next week was watching videos, and I got a good idea from that. And then on Friday night, I had a second meal that I needed to plan for. So I have a list that I've made of keto meals that I kind of go down the checklist and find something that sounds good for that week. Well, the second meal that I found was on that checklist, and so I hurried up and I made my shopping list. I made sure I had all the ingredients handy, and the ones that I didn't, I put on my list. And so that's what I did. I made my shopping list. I planned my meal. I made my shopping list. That was Friday night. And then today I went shopping, got what I needed. My daughter went and got some things that I needed, and I'm all ready to go. So in total, I've probably spent about an hour or less thinking about what I'm going to eat the next week. So hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes cooking, 2.5 hours clean up, 3 hours total for the whole week. I just really think that it's a lot less time thinking about food compared to how I was before. I don't know about you guys, but it's a lot less time for me. Okay, and then the next thing is if you're tracking your food, it's easier to track. And because all you have to do, I mean, I'm eating 2 meals, kind of alternating the 2 meals. And so all I would really have to do if I wanted to track, and I really do need to track, is write out everything on a paper, maybe put it in my food tracker. Right now I'm using Carb Manager. And for those 2 meals, all you have to do is input those 2 meals into your food tracker, and you know exactly what your calories, what your carbs, what your protein is. And that's brings me to something else that I kind of wanted to talk about, is I really think that I should be tracking. I wasn't going to track until I was at a stall, and I really wanted to see what I was getting, but I am kind of concerned right now. I've had an OMAD for over a week now, and I know that my weight loss hasn't been speedy, but I am kind of concerned that I'm not getting all my macros in. And so I'm thinking that this next week I am going to write down what I'm eating, kind of find out what the macros are on each meal, and if I need to step it up a little, then I will. But on the other hand, I'm eating until I'm full, and maybe even a little bit over full. And I don't want to stuff myself, because that will set me up for binge eating if I just start eating and eating and eating because I need to eat. So I'm kind of in a quandary about that, and I would really like your guys' input. So in the comments below, let me know, what do you think I should do? Should I track my meals to see if I'm getting everything that I need and add things in if I don't? Or should I just kind of keep it the way I am right now and kind of trusting my body that I'm getting what I need? I'm just really on the fence about that. So if you guys could help me out with that, I'd be really happy. Okay, and then the last thing I have is that meal prepping saves money. It saves a lot of money, because first of all, I buy a lot of my meals, a lot of my food in bulk, and I'll make some up ahead of time, and I'll freeze it, and I'll use what I want, you know, what I need for the week, and then I'll freeze the rest. And so I have food in the refrigerator that if I don't have time, then I can grab something out of the freezer. And also, I'm not buying a lot of vegetables that I haven't planned to eat, and I want to eat it, but I haven't planned to eat it, and it doesn't fit in the plan that I'm doing, and so it just kind of sits there and spoils in the refrigerator. I've thrown away a lot of vegetables because of that. So today, when I made my shopping list, I went to the store and I got just exactly what was on my list. I didn't get anything more, nothing less. But then I saw that asparagus was on sale for, what was it, just under $3 a pound. And boy, I love roasted asparagus. But I had already had my meal planned out, and it didn't fit in with what I'm going to do this week. And I'm still really kind of liking salads. So for my vegetable, I'm eating mostly salads right now. So I guess I could have fit the asparagus in with one of my meals, but I just didn't because it wasn't on my list. And I'm tired of buying vegetables that I'm just throwing away because I'm buying too much, more than I can eat in a week is what it is. So anyway, those are my tips. Those are the reasons why I think you should be meal prepping. So let's talk about my meal prep. So what are we going to have this week? Well, this week I'm going to have some tuna cakes, which I saw Lori make last week. Oh my gosh, I've seen her make those so many times, and they're so, so good. And I'm going to put the link for that video in the description below. It's actually the video that she shows how she makes her tuna cakes, which is kind of an older video. But anyway, she got her recipe from a guy named Altena, I think it is. And so I watched his video. I watched her video because I don't like to do people's recipes exactly the way they do it. I like to put my own little spin on things. So I kind of watched them both to see how they did it. And so I'll put the link for Kent's tuna cakes in the description below as well. So that's going to be one of my meals, is I'm going to have some tuna cakes with a side salad. Then the second recipe that I'm going to make is bunless burgers. So I had Alicia go to the store and get me some butter lettuce, which is my favorite lettuce for a wrap. And I'm going to cook up some hamburger. I'm going to have probably some bacon, cheese, and avocado burgers. Oh my goodness, my mouth is drooling. It's going to be so good. And then as a side dish, I'm going to have pork rinds. So what I'm going to do is just plain pork rinds is good, but the flavored pork rinds are better. And the flavored ones, if you look on the back, I haven't found any flavored pork rinds that doesn't include either sugar, maltodextrin, dextrose, I mean, just a bunch of dubious ingredients. And so I was like, well, why can't I make up my own seasoning and kind of shake it up in the bag and make my own spicy pork rinds or my own barbecued pork rinds or whatever it is that I want. So I'm gonna, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just get a bag of pork rinds, kind of shake it up with some seasonings and see how that does. So that's gonna be in lieu of having like chips or fries or something with my burger. I'll just have a little handful of pork rinds. So anyway, that's what's coming up tomorrow for my meal prep. What else? And then I got some string cheese, and I still have some pepperoni that I'm working on. So I'm going to do some pepperoni and string cheese to break my fast. All right, so anyway, that's it. That's all about the meal prep. And just so you guys know, I'm going to go live with my meal prep at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So if you have time and you want to join me, I'd be happy to have you, because having you guys there, you know, kind of chatting and everything and talking kind of makes a task that is not so much fun. It makes it a lot more fun when my friends are in the room just kind of chatting with me while I'm doing it. So if you can make time for that, I'd appreciate it. And anyway, that's it. I'm not going to promise it's going to be in an hour, but I can tell you that it's going to be less than 2 hours. But you don't have to stay for the whole 2 hours if you don't want. And you can come in and out as you please. But yeah, my longest meal prep so far was 1 hour and 45 minutes. And I'm not sure that it's going to go much longer than that, but I know it's not going to be an hour, because I've got to fry the tuna cakes. I'm going to fry the burgers, and I'm going to cook some bacon in the oven. And then I'm going to put it all together in my meal prep containers. So that's going to take a little bit of time. So anyway, I hope you join me 2 o'clock Mountain Standard Time on Sunday for meal prep. That's all that I have for you today. So until tomorrow, keep calm and keto on.